Greetings in Jesus' wonderful name and welcome to Riverside Chats. I want to continue with the series on Leah I began. We're going to look at some lessons we can learn from Leah. The first lesson Leah teaches us is to embrace our own uniqueness. All of us are unique. I cannot be somebody else. Maybe you say, I'm not as pretty as somebody else. I don't have gorgeous eyes. I don't have a beautiful figure. Oh, if only my nose could be a little different. Oh, if my mouth could not be so large. Only if I had smaller ears. Embrace your own uniqueness. I tell people, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade and add lots of sugar into it. I was born Indian, South Indian, born of South Indian parents. I cannot be anything else. I don't try to play white, although my pigmentation is now changed, and it's hard for the Indians to believe I'm an Indian sometimes. Even with my vitiligo that has changed my whole appearance. You embrace what you have. Like I said, if life gives you lemons, then make lemonade. Maybe you have some kind of deficiency in your personality. Maybe you are not good in academia. You are not good in school and you think you're not smart enough. Some people are smart with their hands. Some people have common sense. Some people are great with books and knowledge. But when it comes to real life, they have not much that they can show. Embrace your uniqueness. Here was Leah. Leah was not as beautiful as Rachel. But Leah had a good personality. She was more godly. She had more faith than Rachel. All of her life she felt rejection. We can learn from Leah that she embraced her uniqueness somehow. She was forced into a marriage she didn't want. She was rejected by her father, rejected by a husband whose love she sought to have all her life. She was later rejected by her sister, who could have been her best friend. Her younger sister. She was the older sister. At one time she had respect, but now that respect was gone. Yes, Rachel learned to embrace her own unique qualities and accept herself as she was. Leah was overshadowed by her. Oh, Rachel was beautiful. I remember when I was traveling overseas one time, I saw somebody very, very beautiful. Natural beauty, not a lot of makeup. I was in Greece on a train from the airport, traveling to downtown Athens. This was a Greek lady, absolutely beautiful. Now she needs to embrace her own uniqueness. Now some people are talented with knowledge in academia. Embrace that. You're smart. Do the best you can. You know, I maintain there are very few people that are drop dead gorgeous. Some people on a bad day just look ordinary. Sometimes the makeup and the tricks the camera can do make these supermodels look out of this world. Don't base your uniqueness by how slim you are. Maybe you are a little overweight. Embrace that. Compensate for other things in your personality. Oh, Rachel. learned how to embrace her own uniqueness. Leah had a lot of difficulty. We need to understand the importance of embracing our own individuality and not compare ourselves with others. I remember learning a song that goes like this. God gave me a body, a healthy soul, and a mind. He made me something special. I am the only one of my kind. I come in a package deal that's unique. I was born in South Africa. My forebears came from India. I grew up in a very poor village. My dad worked in a sugar mill. I thought I was rich all my life because we had all we needed. I have more today than I've ever had before. But I don't look back at the past as being horrible. I embraced every moment in my life. God took me to various places. I firstly went to a Bible college, the Johannesburg Bible College, then went into a situation where I studied with white South Africans. I came from South Africa, and all my life we've been taught that we were subordinate to white people. And suddenly I felt they were no different from me. In some ways I shone in my gifts more than them, and they shone in other gifts more than me. I never looked down on myself. I just learned to adapt. Paul said, I've learned to be content in what situation I find myself in. When I had lack, I was content. When I abounded in much, I was content. Accept your own individuality. Then I came to the Americas. Suddenly, a wife I had for 6 years and 4 months died. I had to adapt. I couldn't get her back. She was gone. I was a realist. I had to believe that God had brought me to the right place at the right time for the right purpose. And then I met my present wife, and I've been married to her for 36 years. You see, you embrace your own uniqueness. You make good of the situation you find yourself in. You don't just have your whole life to go down the tubes because of someone else. You see, my worth does not come from what my wife thinks of me, although I value what she thinks about me. My worth does not come from what my family thinks of me. My worth comes from who I am in Christ. Who I am in Christ. This teaches us the importance of embracing our own individuality and not comparing ourselves to others. Stop comparing yourself. Embrace your own individuality. Maybe you've been depressed for a while and you wish you were somebody else. You are tired of the situation you find yourself in. Again, embrace your own uniqueness. We are different. You cannot be somebody else. Accept your limitations. Work on your shortcomings. Capitalize on your God-given abilities. Accept yourself for who you are. Don't spend all your life wishing you were somebody else. Wishing you were something else. Wishing you had more. Again, the words of Paul come ringing to us. I've learned in whatever situation I find myself, therewith to be content. Whether I had a lot, whether I had a little, I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. You will go nowhere. You won't attain any heights if you spend all your life rejecting what God has given you. I've seen people without limbs. I've seen people without hands. I've seen people with great handicaps use that for their advantage. Think of Joni Eareckson Tada. She had a diving accident which made her paraplegic. But she embraced that and became a great evangelist for handicapped people around the world. And not only handicapped people, but for everyone. As we look at Leah, in some ways she embraced her own uniqueness. She sought so desperately to get her husband's approval. She sought so desperately to be loved and accepted on the same level Rachel was. But that was never to be. But then you look at some of the things God had given her. The ability to bear 6 sons and 1 daughter. She had kids probably who loved her. She could divert the rejection experienced by her from her husband to her children. There was Reuben. There was Simeon. There was Levi. There was Judah. From the tribe of Judah came the Messiah. Jesus came not from Rachel and Jacob's line. He came from Jacob and Leah's line. Oh, that's unique. She was to be one of the great grandmothers of the Messiah come down in human flesh. The punchline now. What about you? Have you been rejecting yourself and hoping what could have been? Get over it. In heaven, you're going to look just like you look, in a more perfected form. Embrace your uniqueness. Embrace the race that you were born in. Embrace the family you were born in. Maybe your family is an embarrassment to you. Do the best you can with what God has given you. Leah had to learn that. Although her life was miserable, if she learned that quicker, she would have a more better life. God bless you and love you.